Welcome to Redeemed for Jesus with Bill Sang, formerly the Bill Sang Podcast. I'd like to thank each one of you for joining us for this episode and would like to remind you to like, share, and subscribe. And please feel free to comment below to let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you like about this program. Enjoy the show. This is Redeemed for Jesus with Bill Sang, and today I have Melissa Sang.
Hi.
I have Carter Sang.
Hey.
And I have Jaden Sang.
Hello.
So I got a couple of helpers today, and that's in large part because what we did this weekend is we, together as a family, watched David, the movie. This is called David, not David the movie. And so that was kind of cool. And David was a lot of fun. And I'm going to start with my left. My wife's on my right, and the boys are on my left. So, boys, Jaden, starting with you, what did you think about David?
I don't like animated films, but this one was done right.
How so?
The humor was good in it. The action was good in it. The way that they portrayed David and Jonathan was really good. And yeah, it was just an overall good animated film.
Very good. Carter, what are your thoughts on the movie?
I really liked it.
Really liked it. That's good. It's a very fun movie. Jaden and I, we both saw it twice. You only saw it once. This is your first time seeing it. So it was a pretty good experience for you?
Yeah.
That's good. And Melissa, what was your thoughts on the movie? What did you like about it?
I liked that it was a lot of fun. It was upbeat the whole way through. And I loved the music. Like, the singing was awesome. I am excited to hopefully be able to download the songs. They're just so fun, so upbeat, and they have a good message. Just overall, it just reminded me of growing up. There are parts of Disney movies that I really liked, but I never liked the tragedy. It was just like so extreme. And so this one, it was just upbeat all the way through. Probably 100 times better than any Disney movie out there. And it might be one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, second to Space Jam, of course. And I second all those sentiments in relation to David. And there's an awful lot because, like I said, this podcast is called Redeemed for Jesus, and it's not just about being redeemed for Jesus as we as individuals are. When you have faith in Jesus Christ, you are redeemed for Jesus. I mean, that's reality. But also redeemed for Jesus in the sense that we want to redeem culture for Jesus. In Angel Studios, I know, I get it that the people who founded it are Mormon. Whatever, okay, I get that. Nonetheless, that they have a lot of good Christians that are working for them as well. And I know a lot of good Christians worked on this movie. And when you read the credits, you see all sorts of recognizable names. You're like, oh my goodness, wow, this guy was involved. This guy was involved. This guy was involved. All of them that are evangelical Christians. It's absolutely amazing to see the type of talent that was involved in this movie. The quality of the animation is incredible, which is something that is rare in Christian animation. Normally you get very cheap B quality. This is A grade. This is top-notch Disney quality animation, and the music on top of it is top-notch music. And we wanted to give you a taste of one of the songs, probably the premiere song for the movie. Is called Follow the Light. We're just going to play a couple seconds of the song just to give you an idea of what the music's like. So this is what the music is like, and this is David who is singing. I don't know who plays his voice when he's young, but I know when he's older, Phil Wickham plays it says Phil Wickham and Brandon Ingman. I'm guessing maybe one of them's the older one and the other one's the younger one. So let's play a small clip of the music for you, and this is from the song Follow the Light in the movie David.
You want the secret of freedom and feeling alive. You gotta follow the light. Follow the light. Feel the rushing wind as you're running into the wild. That's right, yeah. We'll see the sun rise out
Very
of the
neat visuals,
ash
very good voice,
as
good
we
music,
hold nothing back. When the
and just the
shadows
story
come,
and the
we
lesson
won't run from the
that goes along
fight.
with it's really good.
Come on and follow the light.
Okay, and so it kind of transitions there from David's being a child to David's adulthood, and of course, this all takes place after he slays Goliath, and so he attains all his fame. So, my goodness, I don't even know how to do this with all these people in here. Like, how do you guys want to go about this? Like, talking about this movie? Is there anything else you guys want to share about David the movie, or just the general direction of Angel Studios or Christian Entertainment? Any thoughts?
We first saw young David and we showed it at our church to the kids, and it was like the music, it's just so upbeat, it's so hopeful, and it allows you to take, the hope that you have as a Christian and really like sense that from your brain into your heart. And I think that's what the music really does throughout the young David movie, and also David of the movie. It just really allows you to take these Bible stories and bring it to your heart and to be energized through the music, and to carry that on with you during the day, to just have energy and hope, because of what God has done.
Yeah, and actually, I'm very happy to see this movie come out through Angel, because Angel is the studio that launched The Chosen, and The Chosen ended up leaving, and I have no qualms with either Angel or The Chosen and Dallas Jenkins. I think that they have both been. One of the things I was worried about is after The Chosen left Angel, I thought that Angel was going to go belly up, because that was a big part of their business. So to see they're doing stuff like this is absolutely incredible. And guys, actually, something I want to ask you guys about, because again, this isn't me trying to put a plug in for Angel, but one of the shows you guys like on Angel quite a bit is the Tuttle Twins. Carter, do you have anything to say about the Tuttle Twins?
It likes to teach people about things that people should do.
Yeah, and it teaches you a lot about, like, does it say teach you about economics and about how to spend your money and how the government should spend its money?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
It's a pretty fun show, isn't it?
Mhm.
I like it quite a bit. We had Angel Studios. We got rid of it for a little bit. We picked it back up because David came out, and it was just really fun to be able to watch David. But then it's like, oh my goodness, we have the Tuttle Twins back now too. Jaden, anything you want to say about either David or the Tuttle Twins?
Yeah, about the Tuttle Twins, like, I didn't expect it to be a very good show. Then they throw in a grandma with a time machine wheelchair and a raccoon that eats literally everything. And yeah, and they taught about money and government corruption and all that stuff. And it's really good. And about David, like, the animation, the singing, all of it is better than Disney.
So David was really good. Tuttle Twins are really good, and like I said, part of our passion is we want to really take the things that we love, that we're passionate about, and turn them into things that are redeemed for Jesus. And one of the things that I've enjoyed for quite some time is the Godzilla franchise. Something that I've loved for a really long time. It's been a lot of fun following the movies and everything. But that's not what I'm talking about today, because as time has gone on, I started noticing, and actually, when we have lots of media today that's similar to the Tuttle Twins, and when I started becoming more engaged with politics, I started noticing that Japan has a very different culture from America. That they're a little bit more for big government than what we are, and there are things inside of the Godzilla movies that are like, wow, this is big government, and I'm not a fan of big government. This is very interesting, and so I created a character called Giganotus Rex. And I'd been thinking about writing a Godzilla book for a while. I was like, well, I can't publish a Godzilla book. I don't have the rights for that. So I wrote a book called Giganotus Rex. It's a similar type of creature, except for it's a dinosaur in almost the truest sense. And I've written a number of books. I think 4 books completed. I'm working on a 5th book. and I have started recording a podcast where I am releasing chapters of the first book as I've read them and dramatized them. And I'm going to let everybody talk about the book a little bit here in a second. But first, what I'm going to do is play a small segment of the podcast for you so you can get a taste of what the podcast is like. And this is the Giganotus Rex podcast, and this was from chapter 7 of the podcast. I heard shouts of terror coming from behind me. The ground vibrated as something enormous was heading in our direction. Footsteps. They were drawing closer, and whatever it was big. Steve turned to me again. We must run! I didn't ask questions. I ran as fast as I could, but the footsteps got closer. I looked back to see a giant robot in the shape of a human in the distance making its way to the road. It was about 20 feet tall and was destroying everything in its path. It trampled people as it gave chase to us. There were 2 others following behind in formation. The lead seemed to be fixated on me. It felt like a nightmare. I ran harder and harder, only to see them effortlessly gaining on me. The lead was closing in 100 feet, 50, 25. It leapt in the air and landed not even 20 feet away from Steve, Miss Saint, and myself. I watched as it raised its fist to pulverize my friends. The darkness fell upon us as a massive shadow blanketed us and then shone. This new shadow, Warfish, and quickly batted him away with his snout. Giganotus Rex had joined the fight. Okay, so that's a taste of the Giganotus Rex podcast. And like I said, that's chapter 7. It's called Exterminators, is chapter 7. So I encourage you to check out the Giganotus Rex podcast as well. And it's a Christian themed, and yes, it's a kaiju book, monster book, whatever you want to call it. And I want to go around and kind of get people's opinions. And I'm starting off with Jaden this time.
I'm a pretty big Godzilla fan, but about the big government stuff and all that, they kind of switch it. Dad kind of switches it in the Giganotus Rex thing with the corrupt government, and that they were trying to exterminate this village that was Christian. There was a monster around that area called Giganotus Rex, and I think it's a perfect giant monster story, and I love it.
Yeah, that encourages me quite a bit because it's a lot of hard work. In fact, one of the secrets about the first Giganotus Rex book, and actually more than one of the Giganotus Rex books that I've written, is the first time I wrote the book, it was actually a totally different story, and I rewrote the entire book, and it became it was generally the same story, but a lot of differences. And I used to have the original print of it, and I don't know what happened to it, but I'd have loved to hold on to that. So I when I hear words like perfect kaiju or perfect monster book story, that's very encouraging to me. Carl, do you have any feelings on it?
Yeah. I'm a pretty big Godzilla fan also, and Giganotus Rex, it's interesting that Giganotus Rex has as many powers as what he does.
Yeah, he's got some pretty cool powers. The funny thing is, you guys actually know more about his powers than if anybody's read the books up to this point. You guys know about more of his powers right now than other people. Melissa, would you like to weigh in?
So I really like the G-Rex books. I am not a fan of Godzilla at all. And Bill's books are so much different because, for one, they're written by a Christian author, and so they're just wholesome all the way around. Like the relationships, you just see so much depth in the relationships and so much quality. The Christians, in the story are just so genuine, and you just see so much good in them. And then in the government, it's just really funny because you just see so many things that are just ironic and so many things that we see today. Like Bill mentioned to me earlier that he wrote this in 2016. And that was before a lot of the things happened recently. And yeah, just so many things he wrote about. Like, wait a minute, how did you know this was going to happen? Or how did you know, these would be the lines?
One of the specific lines.
Say.
What was one of the specific lines that I wrote? Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, he said in his book, "Trust the science," and it's like this was before COVID. And he put this in
and it
his
was
book.
said in an ironic way, like
yes.
as if by a character was saying, "Trust the science," like we heard "Trust the science" when it came to COVID.
Yeah, and so it was even before COVID. So he wrote so many things in these books that were like, just before they even happened, and it's just so funny to read, and just all around you see the good, the bad, the ugly, but it's just a really fun story. And what I like even more almost than the books is his new podcast where he's reading through the first book, because the music and the background, sounds that he adds to the reading of his first book is just really fun. And then like all the fighting scenes are a little bit more upbeat, and just all around, like I would definitely recommend at least listening to the first book that he's recording and putting online, and then you can buy the rest, online, and I think you'll really like it.
Yeah, and I highly encourage purchasing the books, because even though the podcast is cool and all, and definitely listen to the podcast, I think that reading the books is just a different experience. And I love reading books opposed to listening to things or watching things in that regard, because normally you get more out of it. Having said that, like I said, I'm working on book number 5. I can't remember if I revealed the title of it already, but aside from that one, I've written 4 other Giganotus Rex books. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to just kind of go around, and of the ones that you have read, which one is your favorite? Who should we start with, Carter? Carter, what's your favorite of the Giganotus Rex books?
Possibly either 1 or 4.
1 or 4. Yeah, those are both pretty strong books, huh? The 1 is kind of like the one that starts it all, and 4 is a very different one. I don't know if I want to give away details on that or not. 4 is kind of, the ending I think is a little bit surprising, so I don't necessarily want to give that away, but it's a pretty action-packed book, and it's very different. I guess it's not too different. 3 is the weirdo. 3 is the weirdo, but it's very in a good way. 3 is the weirdo in the tone and everything else, and it has a ton of monsters in it. Number 3 has a ton of monsters in it. Jaden, what's your favorite G-Rex book?
Probably 4. I'm going to say 4, yeah.
Going to say 4. Now, what about 4 do you like?
It's a more serious one. It's a good story.
Something I will reveal. Something I will reveal, because Jaden probably doesn't know that he can say this, but I actually have 2 characters in the book that are bad guys that may or may not be based off of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. May or may not. The resemblances, I mean, the one's name is Nancy and the other's name is Chuck. I don't know. I mean, coincidences happen. Whatever, I mean, they don't have last names in the book. So, again, coincidences happen, and they so happen to resemble those 2 political figures. And the one is nicknamed Evil Nancy, and the other's named Childish Chuck. Yeah. Again, coincidences happen, I mean, it's just the way the world works sometimes. And Melissa, what did you like? Which one was your favorite?
I like the first book because the dialogue is just really funny, and there's just so many characters, and they have their own personalities, and their own professions, their own lifestyles, and it's just so fascinating because you can just relate it to what you see around you, and it's just really funny.
Yeah. And let me give you a little bit of lowdown on the other books as well. Honestly, I don't know which one's my favorite. I was really impressed with number 4, though, with how it turned out, because it took certain turns that I just wasn't sure how it was going to feel when I was done with it. And especially after these guys reading it and them saying that, yeah, it turned out pretty good. As you heard, that Jaden said that was his favorite. Carter said it might be his favorite. And number one is really strong too, like you said. And that one's from a first person perspective, which I think helps out with the narrative. But let me fill you on the other. So the first one is kind of the introduction of Giganotus Rex and what he's all about. The second one is kind of my version of King Kong versus Godzilla. And my vision for it was kind of be like the original 1960s film, where the media, because what I saw in that movie back when it came out, is especially the Americanized version, is it's based around these media reports that are going on, and they are so far off on everything they're saying. And so I play on that a little bit. And Giganotus Rex fights his first rival monster, whose name is Han. It's a giant monkey monster, opposed to a gorilla, because if it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey, it's an ape. Hope you all caught that reference to VeggieTales, by the way. And and it's a very, very entertaining. Like I think that all of them, it's probably the most entertaining of the books, and it has probably my favorite chapter in the series thus far. And I don't know what it is I like so much about the chapter. It's a chapter where it's like pure dialogue, and I just find it when I read it, I was like, oh my goodness, I wrote this. This is hilarious. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful chapter. I can't remember which chapter it is inside of there, but there's a chapter in the second book that's just incredible. The third book is, like I said, that one is the weirdo, but in a very special and good way. It's about a giant plant monster that is actually that actually requires humans to be plugged into it to keep it alive, to make it to grow and prosper. And they started inserting kids from before the time that they had any memories to give this thing life and strength, and later on it starts having these negative repercussions. And so these kids are kind of living in sort of a matrix sort of dream world while this is all happening. And the creature gets out of control, starts conquering a city, and then it turns out that it actually has plans to even conquer the world. And so, of course, we have Giganotus Rex coming to save the day, and it's got monsters galore. It's got robots. It's got all sorts of stuff in it. It's a really, really fun book, and I would say it's probably more serious than number four myself. I don't know why. I didn't consider four all that serious myself, aside from certain details. But number three is pretty serious, and it was also probably the most fun to illustrate because of all of the monsters inside of it, and very unique monsters inside of it as well. Especially the last one, which is a surprise monster. Don't tell anybody I've revealed this to you. But the last monster, the final boss, is one named Omrex, and then some things come out as a result of that. It's a pretty cool ending, I think. But then again, I am biased a little bit. So that's Giganotus Rex for you. I hope that we made that pretty clear for you. And again, this is kind of an attempt to infiltrate that realm with Christianity. And one final note, I don't intend the book to be allegorical. Like, for instance, in the Chronicles of Narnia, Aslan is essentially supposed to be God, is essentially supposed to be Jesus. My character that displays the character of God, I want to make clear, is not God, and he is created, but he still reflects the nature of God nonetheless. But I just can't bring myself to put God into a book and say, okay, I am making God do this. C.S. Lewis, I have a lot of respect for him. He did a fantastic job with it, did it reverently and well and all that. I just didn't even want to touch that. So I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying the wrong message by saying that particular character in my book is created, because it's not God. Okay, just make it perfectly, perfectly clear. In my books, that's the case. But Aslan, of course, is representative of Christ in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Chronicles of Narnia. But yeah, check out the Giganotus Rex series. Anything else that anybody wants to say before we close out?
Yeah, the way I'd describe the 4 books right now is in pizzas. I'd describe the first one as a cheese pizza, the second one as like a pepperoni pizza. The third one is a deluxe pizza for sure.
Deluxe pizza.
Oh yeah. And the fourth one I'd say is a meat special.
A meat special. Why meat special for the fourth?
I just see like because it's rough, tough, and all.
It's
And
got a little bit of everything in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting analogy. Cheese pizza, pepperoni pizza, deluxe. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Deluxe and meat pizza. I couldn't have said it any better myself. So there you go. If you want a good pizza, check out the Giganotus Rex books. You'll get a good treat. And it was a lot of fun writing these books. I hope that you're able to enjoy them along with your family. They get kind of intense at times. My target audience when I was writing them was teenagers, particularly. And honestly, I think that when you write to teenagers in these sorts of situations, that it can appeal to everybody. So check out the Giganotus Rex series. The first book is the Wrath of Giganotus Rex. That's the one I'm currently recording. I'm on chapter 7. I have a couple more chapters to go before it's all wrapped up in the podcast form. So make sure to check out the podcast as well for a dramatic reading of it with sound effects and stuff. So I think that's pretty much all we got for you today. So, I want to inspire you though as well, that if you have an idea and you have a passion and you want to, and you see that maybe mainstream is not representing it for Christ the way that it should, take the initiative. Try to do it yourself. Do something, write a story or record a song or do something that redeems it for Jesus. This is the Redeemed for Jesus podcast with Bill Singh. I am Bill Singh, and like I said, I am here with my wife, Melissa, my son, Jaden, and my other son, Carter. We would like to thank you for joining us for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you've read any of the books and tell us which one is your favorite. Have a great day.
Mountains bow down, the seas lift their voice. Creation resounds, we join in, rejoice.